Hello everyone, it's Kevin, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm gonna print the chain god from Printed Obsession. It's on my mini factory. This one is really intricate, it's gonna be a bit hard to support, hard to paint as well, but the model is really cool, so let's go. Okay, so here that's the pre-supported model that you get with the pack. I think it's nice, you can download and print. I know people really like it, but all those knobs here and the tiny support at the bottom, I didn't really like it. I feel like it was prone to fail probably, some parts. So, I mean, it might be fine. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna redo my support, I don't mind. I wanted to hollow the model as well. I'm not sure why they didn't do it right off the bat. So I hollowed my model and I've redone my support. I don't mind having support touching the model. For me, that's fine. So I've put a bunch of support first at the back of the rock, just to give some strength, make sure everything is supported nicely. And then I've used a bunch of light support. I branch a lot for the chains and things like this. You just need to print a couple of pixels ready to just start like the island, so that's fine with a lot of really tiny support. The print came out pretty nicely here, as you can see. I'm gonna clean in some like dirty IPA first and then cleaner one. I want to make sure I remove all the resin inside the model. I have a hole at the bottom of the rock here. And then later I'm just gonna use some hot water to get rid of the support. I don't do it often, but when there is a lot of support it's really helpful. The chain god is printed, it's primed and it's ready to go. The whole printing process was really easy. All the support came out super clean, super nicely. A lot of them were super tiny, super thin, so most of the cleanup had a couple of marks here behind the rock where I had a lot of my strongest support, which is normal, and then everything else was really easy to clean around the chains and the arm and stuff, so the result is super nice. I'm gonna have a bit of a hard time to paint in between all of this, but that's part of the deal. I choose to print in one block because I don't want to have to move around some part later on. I'm just gonna try to enjoy the process. I'm not sure about the color yet, so let's go. And the color is yellow. I didn't want to use some normal color. I didn't want to go the normal route. I'm like, okay, let's try to find a color. I picked yellow and I'm like, okay, let's go. So here I have some kind of plague brown from Vallejo that I use for the base coat, and I'm using then some brighter yellow to highlight. I'm going a bit quick. I'm gonna wash the model after. I just try to have some volume defined already, why not? Here and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna use a brown wash to tone down some of the model, but mostly get all the detail. There's a lot of really like thin detail. So I apply all the wash, then I make sure I'm cleaning some the part where it's pulling and everything. And when it's dry, I'm coming back with my yellows and I'm just gonna redefine my lights and my shadows in some places. So there is a lot of part to do, a lot of muscles, so I'm just gonna go slow and steady. The thing with yellow, I use like 2 or 3 different yellow to go brighter and brighter. The cover is really poor, so you have to go with a lot of coat. I'm glazing up every time, just slowly to make sure I'm gonna be quite smooth at some parts. So I'm just going over and over again in some parts. I don't spend a huge amount of time, but sometimes when it's dry, you go back with like one stroke with the brush, and you're applying one more coat really quickly, and it's really helpful. When I was kind of done with the main volume, I'm cleaning some of the part where I kind of messed up. So I take my sepia ink and I'm go on some really tiny detail. And for the final highlight, I took some skin tone, like dead flesh, I think. So it's really bright. It's a bit yellowish and really bright. So I choose this one. I'm doing my edge highlight kind of, and I'm using I'm trying to have some like stroke going around. Their muscles, they're supposed to be a bit like fibery, and I wanted to add some texture, so that's what I'm going for here. doing my brightest highlight and some kind of texture in between. There is some crystal coming out of the elbows here. I'm doing an orange to stay close on the color tone, I think. I didn't spend too much time thinking about it. Just some orange, some bright highlight. And for the rock here, so what I decide, I'm like, okay, let's use purple and let's go the other way around. I'm gonna wash with some really bright color and I'm gonna dry brush with some really dark color. I want the inside of the rock here, all those cracks. The demon is coming from somewhere, some kind of dimension, so let's make it a big fantasy and let's have some kind of portal vibes going on. So I'm washing a lot in the recess, I'm cleaning a bit in between, then I'm going with white, trying to brighten the color as well. And when I'm done, I'm going back with my base coat and slowly but surely I'm going darker and darker. And the final coat was black, so I'm like, okay, let's go all the way. Here after I did my chains and some part of the arm, the kind of cuff I've done with metal, just normal metal, gray for some of the rock at the bottom, and I'm washing over to make it like really weathered and dirty. I'm gonna apply some rust mark and stuff like this. And the last part was the flame on top of the head, so I was thinking about doing some different color, maybe like purple flame as well, but I went with the normal color. I'm like, okay, it's gonna stay good with the model. And I'm done painting the chain god. This one was really nice. First, the model is really amazing, so I really like it. And I'm happy with the paint job. The goal was to try different color. I didn't want to go the red skin and dark theme. I'm like, okay, let's pick some color and let's go with it. I've tried the yellow skin. I think the result is really nice, so I'm really happy with this. I tried the effect on the rock. It's not perfect, but still good, still a good start, I think. I might try something similar in the future. I see what kind of effect I can get. And yeah, that's about it for the chain god. I hope you enjoyed the video. Tell me what you think in the comment. And if you want more, I have a video every single week, so subscribe and see you next week.